So we showed up here early in the morning, and this is the forefront of TransCanada's Keystone XL pipeline project. This is the farthest south that the clearing crews have come in this stretch of the pipeline construction, and we have shut it down. Best case scenario, we keep this construction site shut down for the entire day, and there are also other actions going on right now simultaneously, and we are waiting the arrival of the sheriffs.
Kalamazoo River was in an instant transformed into a sea of oil. What happened in Michigan, however, was not crude oil. It was something called tar sands oil. As it turns out, we have no freaking clue how to clean up tar sands oil.
The pipeline, which would run from Canada to Texas, could pose extensive environmental damage, according to experts and anybody with eyes.
And TransCanada had about a dozen spills in their pipeline last year.
If I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have signed.
So these activists have been coming out, hoping the president will stop the deal from being enacted. So could that actually happen? And even if he does say no, will China just say yes?
Here's one from England. England is a long way from Texas, but what you are fighting for and fighting against is universal. Good luck. Let's see here. Just wish this could be thousands. She sent $500. There's someone who sends me $25 every month. This man sends me $25 every month. Get those bastards. Okay, that was his note. It is very humbling to read these things. You know, it's all good luck written all over the envelopes. What do you think? The Crawford family's been in the county for over 100 years, but my grandfather bought this particular piece of property in 1948. And then I took over as farm manager 2 years ago. Just kind of made a career switch and left the corporate world and came here for what I thought was going to be the nice, easy life. Well, actually, TransCanada came on the scene probably 4 years ago, and my dad was manager. And that's when they first said, we want to come across your land. And my dad told them the same thing he told two other pipelines earlier. We don't really want you on our land. Can you find another way around us? And the two other pipelines found a way around, but TransCanada said they were coming across. So there was kind of this ongoing dialogue for a couple of years while my dad was managing the farm. And really nothing happened. They just kind of kept upping the offer on what they would pay for that easement. So then I came on board 2 years ago and really started digging into what this was all about. Because my dad had no idea. You know, he was under the assumption it was like every other pipeline in Texas. So when I got involved and started looking into what it really was, where it was coming from, who the company was, that's when I really started pushing back. This fenced area represents their permanent easement and the temporary workspace they wanted. They're basically going to come through this way, then two 45-degree turns, and then go across the road, and then connect with all of with those pipes, most of which is already buried. But you know, the dirt that's flat beyond the pipe, that's pipe that's welded and already buried. It's going under the creek, Bodark Creek, which is the county line there, and that's the creek that I have an irrigation system to. I have state-given water rights to that creek, and I irrigate almost 400 acres from it. So if they go under the creek, anything happens, I'm downstream, and you know, it'd go right to my well, right to my outtake. If each side got, say, $10,000, and you put on the best case you can for $10,000, it'd be a whole different, it'd be a whole different story. But Lady Justice is not like this. You know, she's kind of looking out over here. Who's got the most money? So that's where we are right now.
Thank you, and I welcome you. I'm David Hightower. This is my family farm where I grew up. I was here as a very small child where my dad bought this place in about 1958 I grew up here. This is the only address I've ever had on my driver's license. After I got out of high school, I married my high school sweetheart, and I went off into the military for 20 years. And I came back here in 1999, and we moved back onto the family farm, where I started growing a vineyard and a bunch of fruit trees. And I have a couple of gardens where I grow produce and take it to the farmer's market in town and feed lots of friends and family. And I used to have 2 others that were out that way, but they've been removed by the pipeline. Here are some muscadine vines that are really not as nice looking vines as what I had down there. And I have pecan trees. There's a pecan tree. I have a little bit of a lot of things. I try to grow as many as 100 different kinds of plants that a person could eat. I thought maybe the pipeline had gone away until about a month ago, when surveyors came through and erected all kinds of surveys across the yard, and people were coming and going, and finally equipment was coming near to our house. Well, once they arrived, now I have a 30-foot section that's been dug up in my yard. Never did they use words that really caused me the visual picture that I have seen of the destruction of my front yard and my vineyard and things like that.
Yeah, there's a place to attach it right there.
This is the movement of our generation. Some people say that the Keystone XL pipeline is the line in the sand for the environmental movement, and I believe that, and I'm showing my support. My goal today is to stop this machine from moving as long as possible, and I'm willing to sit in front of it and not move until the police take me away.
Ideally, the best outcome would be that this action causes a lot of people to hear about what's going on here, because not many people even know about the Keystone pipeline. They don't know about the danger that it poses to them and their families and their children and grandchildren.
Okay, so the way that the situation is now is that 2 people doing lockdowns have been pepper sprayed, and other sorts of pain compliance may be used on them. And the sheriff has talked to the owner of this land, who apparently has just rescinded permission to be on the land. But that landowner has basically given the police permission to arrest people for trespassing. So it's unclear what will happen now. There are still people sitting in the trees, but now anyone in the area could be arrested for trespassing.
Right now, with the equipment that's out there, we don't have a dog in the fight, as far as what's right or what's wrong. We're here to protect property and people. So that's what we're doing. They have gotten them off the equipment at this time, and those people, did go to jail.
Charges because I was not doing anything wrong. There was no moving traffic. I was just standing there. And he comes up and he says, "Get out of the way." And got me right in my eyes.
Cannot go any further.
If I had a job other than running this place, I couldn't be doing this. If I had to go punch a clock with someone else and have a job that distracted me, I'm actually able to focus everything I do kind of on this farm. And sadly, I've not been doing my job as a farm manager. I'm looking out there at trees that are on fences going, I'd be out there chopping that down or doing these things. But right now, my life is so focused on this. It's a good focus to have.
No, we are fighting against an outside threat, period. That's what this boils down to.
It's jobs and energy independence for North America. It's like, I don't want
Well,
to hear
it's
that.
because so many people want to be sheep, and that's what they've been told.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, someone told me it's jobs and energy independence.
And they're going to go to
I'm going to believe that.
I can point to an article that says, no.
Right.
And people go, oh, really? And it's almost like if you get someone who has an open mind and you say, I know that's what you heard, but here's the reality. Here's their report. Here's and most people go, oh, really?
Oh, really?
And it's kind of this eye opener. It's people that go, la 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 la,
Right.
Just infuriating.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of those here.
There are, but even though
it's
I think
status
people
quo for them. They accept it. But personally, every American citizen is in the same situation, and we need to stand up to the oil companies and just say no.
My voice and my issue right now is property rights,
Right.
okay? And that's really where this story resonates for us, and that's what the galvanized people is that. I have personal feelings about the environmental piece and the archaeological piece and all these others, but it's kind of like my job right now. If I want to make a difference in this fight, I know what I have to stay lockstep in. Even if we can't stop them, we are making them have to play by the rules that were there that they should have known about, okay? I don't think the Canadians did their homework on Texans. We're known to be probably pretty badass about this stuff, and I can't believe they thought they could just swoop in and quietly do this without people standing up. I think that we can really impact how TransCanada and other pipelines move through our state. We have been able to shine a light on a problem that no one's ever talked about before, and because we're shining a light, things have got to get better. Nothing else, people know you can stand up now. I think a lot of people said, well, we can't fight them. I'm just a little landowner, but yeah, one person can't do it, but we're showing that when you get people in the blockades and landowners and you create this mass of people where change can happen. Change can happen, and it's like, I wish I could find his letter. One person said it in a note, and he said, thank you for standing up. Nothing changes until at least one person does. And we're just kind of that one person right now.